Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone for the Sunday morning session on the journey of self-discovery. Before we begin our session, let's offer a praise to Prabhupada and Lord Krishna. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Shri Radha Vrindavan Chandra ki jai. Shri Shri Nitai Gaurang ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. So today we're going to conclude the session with regard to the topic which we have begun in the previous session. Pleasing the Supreme Master. Right? Very interesting topic. This was the topic, pleasing the perfect master. It is a lecture delivered by Prabhupada in the early days of ISKCON, wherein Prabhupada is explaining to us our situation in the material world presently and how we can come out of that suffering situation, right? The only solution is to please the Supreme Master, the perfect Master. In all these sessions, in the wonderful teachings, we are able to discuss and enlighten ourselves by the special mercy of His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, Worldwide Hare Krishna Movement, who has so mercifully given us these teachings in a recorded form for us to understand them anytime, especially in the modern day of technology. We're able to access them in any time, any place, any situation. So it is a wonderful opportunity for us, which Prabhupada had envisioned, and he has given everything in a recorded form for us. So, expressing our deepest gratitude to Prabhupada, let's move forward with our session. So, in the previous session, just to have a short recap on what we understood in the previous one, so that we can have a continuity of what we're going to discuss today. Prabhupada said that there are three kinds of miseries which all of us are experiencing. Presently, apart from the problems of birth, death, old age, disease, every one of us are going through three kinds of miseries. What are they? The miseries pertaining to your body and mind. They are called adhyatmika. Just like we become diseased or we go through some depression, anxiety. Then secondly, there are miseries inflicted by other living entities. Maybe your neighbors or some of your own family members or your friends or some other living entities. It's like a dog may chase you or mosquitoes may bite you. It is called adhibhautika, miseries from other living entities. And there are miseries from supernatural forces, from higher personalities called the devatas, demigods. They are called adhidaivika. Just like excessive rain, or right now we are going through, heat, a lot of heat, summer heat. We had winter, severe cold. Like this, many climatic aspects with regard to which we are going through, and many other calamities which the living entities are experiencing is called adhidaivika. So all of us are experiencing either one, two, or all the three miseries every now and then, constantly. This is our situation right now. And our intention is, or our aim is, how to relieve ourselves from these sufferings. In fact, if you analyze carefully, every aspect of our life, we'd like to see that we counteract these miseries, counteract this, we come out of these sufferings. Right? We want to be always happy. When we become diseased, we rush to the hospital. Right? We would like to take the treatment from the doctors. Right? And we would like to always see that we protect ourselves with regard to attack from others. And we'd like to ensure that, no calamities come upon us. We take all the precautionary safety measures required. So like this, our endeavor has been to counteract the miseries which we inevitably are facing every every moment. So the question should be, why are we suffering? Prabhupada gives a wonderful understanding with regard to why are we suffering. We are suffering, why? Because of ignorance. Just like a child, out of ignorance, if he keeps his hand in the fire, then the fire will burn his hands. Right? Child may say, oh, I was ignorant, but ignorance is no excuse. So the laws of nature created by the Supreme Lord Krishna are working very precisely, very accurately, and to the point. And when we violate the laws given by the Supreme Lord Krishna, we become averse to his established rules. Then that causes suffering. Just like in the ordinary course of our activities, when we violate the established laws of the government, then we are subject to suffering. Right? Police will arrest you. You are subject to suffering. Very simple, common sense understanding. So the established laws of Krishna, which we violate out of our own whimsical way of life, then that is the cause of our suffering. Krishna bahirmukha jiva bhogavanchakare. When you want to enjoy this world in our own way, without understanding the overall plan of Lord Krishna, for what purpose it is made of, why it is made of, that is the cause of suffering. Prabhupada explains, actually speaking, our real position is that we are all servants. But right now, we are serving our senses. Servant we are. We are servant of Krishna. Right? But right now, we are serving our senses. That is the reason for our suffering. Constitutionally, we are all servants of Krishna, because the very nature, the very makeup of our Atma, soul, is that we are intrinsically meant to serve Supreme Lord Krishna. So we may think, oh, serving Krishna, we have been better. What do we get? Right? Our understanding with the material world is that we want to offer our service to somebody or something only when we get something from that, when we get some return. In business, it is called return on investment. We invest some money on something, in some business or some enterprise. So we expect a return. Right? Whereas in the material world, we see it is not that easy. We go on serving our senses, but it's not giving us actual satisfaction. Right? We'll understand this more in today's session. But when we serve Krishna, the service is reciprocal. Little service you do Krishna, then Krishna also reciprocates. That's how it is. The material world, the type of service you do and the expectation you have from the service is not commensurate. You do a lot of service, whole life serve, but finally you'll be frustrated with the type of response you get, type of reaction you get. Right? We'll understand more in today's session about this. So this is what we discussed in the previous session. So let's move forward. Actually, what we are doing is right now, we are trying to serve our lust, anger, and greed. Prabhupada explains what is happening with us now. Constitutionally, we are servants of Krishna, but right now we are serving our senses. Senses served in the form of lust, anger, and greed. Srila Rupa Goswami quotes a nice verse in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu concerning the service of the senses. How are we serving our senses? Rupa Goswami explains. Very nice, very wonderful explanation. Kamadinam katina katidha palita durnidesha. He says, here a devotee is saying to Krishna that he has served his senses for a very long time. So senses are served to satisfy the lust, anger, greed, illusion, right? So Rupa Goswami is telling that we have been serving our senses to satisfy our lust, anger, greed since long time. From when it started, we also don't know. It's going on. Kama means lust. So the devotee says, by the dictation of my lust, I have done what I should not have done. So right now what's going on is, I have been serving my senses so much that I'm going on serving them, and I'm doing activities which is contrary or other, which I don't like also I'm forced to do. That's what is happening. Right? Kama. I'm just trying to satisfy my lust, dictation of my lust. It's like when someone is a slave, he is forced to do things he does not wish to do. He is forced. Right? A slave has no independence. He's just supposed to obey the master. Whether he likes or doesn't like, he has to simply work. Like that, we have our senses have become slaves for these lust, anger, greed masters. They're all, we are serving them, right? So, like a slave, we have become slaves to our different sensual activities. So here the devotee is admitting that under the dictation of his lust, he has done sinful things, right? This is sort of a contemplation and repentance a devotee gets when he is moving forward in the spiritual journey, that he admits that under the dictation of his lust, he has done sinful things. Then someone may say to the devotee, all right, you have served your senses, but now you are done serving them. Now everything is all right. So, just like, it happens that, okay, you have served your senses, right? Very good. A lot of service you have done to serving senses means serving your lust, anger, greed. Lust, anger, greed means serving your family, society, country, like this. So very good service. Everybody appreciates that. Everything is fine. What is wrong in that? Somebody may put forward such arguments. But the difficulty is, next line, Prabhu Goswami says, Tesham jata mai na karuna na tripa na upashanti. Very nicely he explains that the devotee says, I have served my senses so much, but I find they are not satisfied. That is my difficulty. Na tripa, na upashanti. Whatever, number of years, how much ever, you have given your time to serve your senses, means lust, anger, greed, family, society, country, neither they are satisfied nor you are satisfied. That is the difficulty. My senses are not satisfied, nor am I satisfied. Nor are my senses kind enough to give me relief. Not that, okay, you have served enough, take retirement. No. Right? To give me pension from their service. That is my position. Very nicely Prabhupada explains in one more context that in the family, the husband has worked whole life, and at one point of time when children are grown up, married, he tells to the family members, let me retire now. Family members will start complaining, what you have done? That is not settled, this is not settled. So like this is how material world is. No satisfaction. Prabhupada gives a classic example of Mahatma Gandhi ji, his history, how Mahatma Gandhi struggled so hard to see that the Britishers are driven out of our country and then we get the freedom. Right? He worked, really tirelessly to achieve this great, wonderful aspect. But finally, when the independence was bestowed, he was not happy because the way he wanted independence, it did not come. India was divided into two nations. And the very countrymen for whom he had worked hard, they only actually killed him. And this is what happened with Mahatma Gandhi, is the history. So like this, my senses are never satisfied, nor to the people whom I give service, they are satisfied, nor am I satisfied. And they don't give relief. Whole life you go on working, they're not satisfied. This is the situation. I had hoped that by serving my senses for many years, they would have been satisfied. But no, they are not. They are still dictating to me. This is the situation. Right? Being going on serving. And this whole life you go on serving, no end. So Prabhupada gives some examples here. Here I may disclose something. One of my students told me, in old age, his mother is going to marry. Right? Generally, fathers, mothers, once the children are grown up, they're supposed to see that the children are married. But here, we see nowadays, it's become a trend that parents who are married already, they have children, they are getting again married. Divorce, marriage. And somebody else complained that his grandmother is also married. Let's see. So Prabhupada comments, just see 50 years old, 75 years old, and the senses are still so strong that they're dictating, yes, you must marry. Right? People think, as long as we are living, we should go on enjoying our senses. Enjoying senses in the form of fulfilling our lust, fulfilling our greed, fulfilling our anger. This is what life means for everybody in the outside world. Right? They try to understand how strong the senses are. It is not simply young men who are servants of their senses. Sometimes we say, oh, young people are all having a lot of, their senses are so strong that they can enjoy senses like anything. No. Even up to the last point of your life, we want to enjoy sense gratification. We have become servants of our senses now. Slaves, rather. One may be 75 years old, 80 years old, or even at the point of death. Still one is a servant of the senses. The senses are never satisfied. This is the situation right now. So that's why Prabhupada says, our situation right now is, we are serving our lust, anger, greed. So this is the material situation. We are servants of our senses, but by serving our senses, we are not satisfied, nor our senses satisfied, nor are they merciful to us. There is chaos. Right? Very nicely Prabhupada is explaining. Our situation right now is that I am not satisfied, nor the people whom I am serving are satisfied. Right? And the senses are not also merciful to me that, oh, you become old, now stop. No. Go on, go on. Like this situation is very chaotic. So Prabhupada explains why we are getting different bodies. So far we understood. We have been serving our senses without any stoppage, continuously, throughout our life. And what is the result? The end result is frustration, disappointment, no satisfaction. So, what does Krishna recommend? The best thing, therefore, is to become a servant of Krishna. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma suchaha. You have served your senses in so many lives, life after life, in 84 lakh species. Right? This is the situation. So, Prabhupada is analyzing and telling that the sense gratification or serving our senses is not only in human form. Every life form, 84 lakh species, we have been serving. So Krishna's advice in Bhagavad Gita is, you have been serving your senses so long, now give up your sense gratification and surrender unto Krishna. Means become servant of Krishna. Is the recommendation Krishna is giving. The birds are serving their senses, the beasts are serving their senses, the human beings, the demigods, everyone within this material world is after sense gratification. Right? Because constitutionally we are servants. Either you serve Krishna or you serve your own senses. Either selfish or extended. So Krishna says, just surrender unto me, just agree to serve me, and I will take charge of you. You will be free from the dictation of your senses. So this is what Krishna is recommending in Bhagavad Gita for our own good. Because we know, just now understood, how serving our own senses in the form of lust, anger, greed has not given satisfaction to us. Or neither it is given satisfaction to people whom we are serving. And it is going on. Whole life, life after life, is what we have been doing. Krishna says, become intelligent. This is not going to give you any satisfaction, nor it is going to really relieve you from this service to senses. It'll go on like this, life after life. Now, this life, one type of facility, next life, one more type of body. When you get a material body, means it's a life of sense gratification in different capacities, different opportunities. Just like you are in a simple apartment, studio apartment, the enjoyment in that apartment is one level. Same person, he moves to a bigger house, say it is 2-bedroom house. Oh, bigger house. So his level of enjoyment with regard to, with his family, having a bigger house is much bigger, much higher. Sense gratification is more. So more like this, we would like to expand and enhance our sense gratification in the material world. So this is what is going on. Sometimes as humans, sometimes as animals, sometimes as devatas. So Krishna is telling, just surrender it to me, and this is what is going to relieve you from the dictation of your senses. Because of the dictation of the senses, we are committing sinful activities life after life. So our present situation is that we have been committing sinful activities. So when whatever way senses are dictating us, we go on acting. This will only lead us to disaster. Why? Because senses will only dictate you to commit actions contrary to the established rules. It will cause you sufferings. That is called a sin. So we see so many different types of bodies. Why? Humans also so many varieties, and animals. Why? Because everybody are trying to enjoy the sense gratification. Don't think that every one of you is of the same standard. No. According to one's activities, one gets a certain type of body. Whatever action we have done this life, next life we'll get one more body. And what body we have got now is the result of our previous life's actions. So, and these different types of bodies afford one different grades of sense gratification. Right? Just like the animals have different capacities of sense gratification. Birds can fly, right? Some animals have the opportunity for eating raw flesh with their body. They can tear up the flesh. Like that, every body has different opportunities for sense gratification. Human being also has opportunity for sense gratification in his own way. So, based on your desire to enjoy sense gratification, you'll be getting different bodies. This life, one body, you develop one more desire. Next life, I would like to eat raw, flesh and drink blood. Okay, next life, Krishna will give you become a tiger. Next life, I would like to swim like a, in the water. Okay, next life, you become a fish or in aquatic. Like that, based on your desires, different types of bodies are given to you for different aspects of sense gratification, different types of enjoyment. There is sense gratification in the hog's life also, but it's a very low grade. Hog or a pig also enjoy senses. Because any body means 84 lakh types of bodies means every body has one set of profile for sense gratification. So what is the type of sense gratification a hog has? The hog is so sensual that it does not hesitate to have sex with its own mother, its sister, or its daughter. This is the sense gratification of hog. No hesitation with regard to gratifying senses. Right? Anybody, mother, sister, daughter, anybody. So even in human society, there are people who don't care whether they have sex with their mother or sister. The senses are so strong. So the human society has degraded to a very abominable level, where there is no sense of discrimination. They have become like animals. So human society also, we don't have any such rules, regulations as per the standards of scriptures. Then next life you will become like an animal because you want to enjoy life like that. So Prabhupada explains, what is the solution for this? Only solution is service to Krishna, which will relieve you from all miseries. So the situation of our present situation of our getting different bodies is why? Because we have been trying to enjoy our senses in different ways, life after life, life after life. And based on our desire to enjoy in a specific manner, we are given different types of bodies. So we should try to understand that serving the dictations of our senses is the cause of all our misery. When we want to enjoy senses in our own way, that is the cause of our sufferings, miseries, right? So what is the solution? The threefold miseries that we are suffering, as we discussed, Adhyatmika, Adibhautika, Adidaivika, right? And this is all we have been suffering. We have been continuously suffering, constantly suffering these miseries. We're trying to get free of due to the dictation of the senses. More you want to enjoy senses, more you'll be given, you're subjected to a lower life forms and you will be entangled in that way. Right? So like this, we are constantly being battered by the sufferings in the material world. But if we become attracted to serving Krishna, we will no longer be forced to follow the dictation of our senses. Solution to the problem. Right? Solution to the problem is what? If we can somehow become attracted to serving Krishna, then automatically this serving our senses will be forgotten. Because serving Krishna is our actual situation. We have forgotten that, and serving our senses, that is the cause of our suffering. It's a very important principle you have to understand. Service we have to do. Service you cannot avoid. But where you have to do the service? Right now we are serving our senses, either individual self or extended sense gratification in the form of family, society, country. That is the cause of our entanglement here. That is called dictation of ourselves. Whatever my family wants, I will do. Whatever my society wants, I will do. They are dictating your actions. So we have to become servant of Krishna, which actually we are. So when you become attracted to serving Krishna, what happens? This dictation of our senses, which otherwise is destroying you, it's entangling you and forcing you to go through different species of life, life after life. This cycle of transmigration to different bodies will be put to an end. So Krishna is called Madana Mohana, one of his names. What does it mean? It means he who conquers Cupid or lust. Madana means Cupid is one demigod by who is called Kamadeva, Cupid, who creates attraction or who generates attraction between opposite sex in the material world, lustful propensities. And Krishna is that person who can attract even Kamadeva, Cupid. Right? So if you become attracted to Krishna, the attraction of Kama, which is the Kamadeva or the Cupid, which is trying to attract, or rather, trying to fool us to enjoy senses in the material world, will be, rectified. Otherwise, we'll be going on with our attraction to opposite sex in the form of lust, greed, right? And life goes on with regard to sense gratification, life of sense gratification. So Krishna, if you become attracted to Madana Mohana, that personality who is attractive to even Kamadeva, then this Kama will not attract you at all. If you transfer your love from your senses to Krishna, then you will be free from all miseries immediately. So this endeavor is to be the master. I am the monarch of all I survey. I am the master of all I survey should be given up. When you say sense gratification, dictation of the senses, the mentality is what? This slide, if you see, a lion in the jungle thinks, I am the lord of the jungle. I am the master. I can do whatever I want. I am the king of all animals. Right? Then, I am the master of all I survey. Whatever animal I get, I can eat. This is what we think. Whatever I see, it is for my sense gratification. Anything I can exploit. This is the mood. So this endeavor to be the master, I am the monarch of all I survey, should be given up. This will happen when you start serving Krishna. So every one of us is constitutionally a servant. We have discussed this point. We are servant of Krishna actually, but we have forgotten that and we become servant of our senses, either personal self or extended self. Now we are serving our senses, but we should direct this service to Krishna. Then the senses actually not belong to us. It belongs to Krishna. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam. Bhakti Ruchate. So, sooner we engage our senses in the service of the master of the senses, that is our perfection. And when you serve Krishna, gradually Krishna reveals himself to you as you become sincere. Right? This is what happens. Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita says that when you engage yourself in service of Krishna, Krishna will give you the necessary intelligence, necessary direction, how to move forward in his devotional service and perfect your life of devotion. Then the reciprocation of service between Krishna and you will be so nice. Yes, see. That's what we are experiencing in the spiritual world, which we have forgotten right now. You can love him as a friend or as a master or as a lover. There are so many ways to love Krishna. The unlimited ways. Not that, it is stereotyped. You are stuck with one type of understanding or relation. No. Krishna is ready to love others, receive our love in whatever way you want. As a friend, as a master, as a lover. So many ways. The different devotees in the spiritual world are trying to express their love to Krishna. Just like the animals, like calves, peacocks, they all are wanting to love Krishna in a specific mood of neutrality. Right? And there are so many friends of Krishna. Sudama, Subala, right? And there are devotees like Nanda, Yashoda trying to serve Krishna as parents. Gopis want to serve Krishna as their lovers. So you should try to love Krishna and you will see how much you are satisfied. There is no other way to become fully satisfied, right? Bottom line is that all of us want to become satisfied. But we are trying to satisfy ourselves in a way which is not actually constitutional to us. Right? A fish is very satisfied when it is in water. When a fish is out of water, it is uncomfortable for it. It cannot stay for long. Likewise, we being spirit souls, being part and parcel of Krishna, we are very happy, satisfied when we are in association with Krishna, when we are in the spiritual atmosphere, serving Krishna. This material atmosphere is not our situation, it is a foreign situation. It is only going to actually give a situation of very miserable experience for us, suffocating for us. The material world is. So we have seen how earning great amounts of money will never give you satisfaction. If everybody who is rich was very happy, then this statement would have been wrong. But you have seen, just money is not the reason for anybody to become satisfied. Prabhupada gives example. I once knew a gentleman in Calcutta who was earning $6,000 a month. He committed suicide. If money was the reason for his happiness, then he would have never become disappointed or bewildered like this, depressed like this. He committed suicide. Why? Because that money could not give him satisfaction. He was trying to have something else. So my humble request to you all is that you try to understand this sublime benediction of life, Krishna consciousness. That's what Prabhupada is telling very nicely. He's concluding this lecture by telling that you just become Krishna conscious. Anything else, any other consciousness you have in your mind, that is only going to subject you to repeated birth and death. Simply by chanting Hare Krishna, you will gradually develop a transcendental loving attitude for Krishna. So, serving Krishna is not difficult at all. Simply you have to chant the Hare Krishna mantra, that's all, every day. That will take care of all the other requirements of our life. Simply serving Krishna in this way will purify you and elevate you to a level wherein you will get liberated yourself at the end of your life. The assurance Krishna is giving in the Bhagavad Gita. Right? So simply you have to chant Hare Krishna. This is how you can use your senses in serving Krishna. Chant Hare Krishna and hear that sound carefully. And as soon as you begin to love Krishna, all your troubles will be eradicated and you will feel complete satisfaction, which we are all hankering for. We want to get free from all sufferings, troubles, and feel complete satisfaction. This is easily possible when you start loving Krishna. When Krishna is satisfied, then Krishna will bestow unlimited satisfaction for you. Right? With this, Prabhupada concludes his talk. Thank you very much. And generally, Prabhupada spends some more time with regard to people who are assembled there to just elicit some questions from them, so that the subject matter what was discussed is very clear for all the audience. So we ask for some questions. So there are two questions which the gathering, the devotees asked. Question number one was, when we engage the material energy in the service of Krishna, what happens to it? Does it become spiritualized? Very intelligent question by one of the attendants, one of the people who attended. So you are telling you have to use your energy to Krishna. You have to use your senses in service of Krishna. So what happened to the energy after that? Does it become spiritualized or it remains material only? Is a question. So Prabhupada very nicely answers. When a copper wire is in touch with electricity, it is no longer copper, it is electricity. Right? Electrical wires, we have conduits. And the current is passing through that, it is no more wire, it is live current in that, right? So likewise, Prabhupada says, similarly, when you apply your energy to the service of Krishna, it is no longer material energy, it is spiritual energy. Very wonderful concept, right? So the energy is Krishna's only, whether material or spiritual energy. But specifically, when the energy which Krishna has given you, use it for his service, it is no longer material energy, it becomes spiritual energy. It's spiritualized. As soon as you engage yourself in the service of Krishna, you become free from the dictates of material energy. This is our actual situation. Right? Why we engage in material energy? Because we have forgotten Krishna out of our ignorance. So sooner you engage yourself in service of Krishna, all the dictates of your senses to serve the matter is curtailed, is subdued. You become free from that. So in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains, Mam chayo vibhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samati yaitan brahma bhujaya kalpate. Anyone who seriously engages in my service immediately becomes transcendental to the material qualities and comes to the platform of Brahman or spirit. A statement by Lord Krishna in the 14th chapter, wherein he says, simply by engaging all your senses in service of Krishna, what happens? Immediately you transcend the matter energy, right? And come to the platform of spiritual enlightenment called Brahman spirit. So when you apply your energy in the service of Krishna, do not think that it remains material. One more classic example Prabhupada often gives is, when you put iron rod in the fire for considerable time, the iron rod becomes red hot. It is no more iron, it is fire. Right? So likewise, when you engage your energies in service of Krishna, what happens is, the material energy, which otherwise material energy means you forgotten Krishna. The matter becomes spiritualized. It no more remains material. Right? So everything used in Krishna's service is spiritual. Because finally everything is his energy only. So when you use it for his service, specifically, it regains its spiritual nature. For example, each day we distribute fruit prasadam. In the early days, Prabhupada used to have orange or apple. He used to cut that, offer it to Krishna and distribute. That is what Prabhupada could offer at that time. So now one may ask, why is this fruit different from ordinary fruit? It has been purchased at the market like any other fruit. We also eat fruit at home. What a difference. Right? Fruit is again energy of Krishna. And this fruit which we get from market and the fruit which is offered to Krishna and then eaten, what is the difference? This is the question, is the point Prabhupada is making. Is it the same? No, it's not same. Because we offer the fruit to Krishna, it immediately becomes spiritual. So as soon as Krishna glances on that on that fruit, or whatever offering you have made, that becomes spiritual. There's a big science behind this. The result is what? Result is just go on eating Krishna Prasadam and you will see how you are making progress in Krishna consciousness. So the question was, what happens when you use material energy in service of Krishna? Does it become spiritual? Was the question. So Prabhupada says, yes. When you serve Krishna, anything matter will become spiritual. Just like food offered to Krishna becomes spiritualized food. Prasadam it is called. So Prabhupada says, just go on eating prasadam, what you will see? You will see that you are making progress in Krishna consciousness, which means you will come out of this material modes of nature and you will transcend the modes and you become free from the influence of modes. That's the point. One more example Prabhupada gives. If you drink a large quantity of milk, there may be some disorder in your bowels. It is a fact. And if you go to a physician, at least if you go to an Ayurvedic physician, he will offer you a medical preparation made with yogurt. Right? Somebody who has consumed too much of milk, is going through indigestion problem. When you go to Ayurvedic doctor, physician, he will recommend that you have curds now, yogurt now. And that yogurt with a little medicine in it will cure you. Right? This is the recommendation even the doctors give, Ayurvedic doctors give. Now, yogurt is nothing but milk transformed, correct? When the milk is, some sour substance is put in that, or some culture of curd is put in small quantity, then overnight that milk is transformed to curds. So the disease, your disease was caused by milk, and it is also cured by milk. So milk product only is curing your disease. How is that? Because you're taking the medicine under the direction of a qualified physician. Very nice example. Understand this example very nicely, clearly. Similarly, if you engage the material energy in the service of Krishna under the direction of a bona fide spiritual master, that same material energy which has been the cause of your bondage will bring you to the transcendental stage beyond all misery. Just see, this is what happens. So, the same material energy which otherwise was entangling you, but when you use that energy in the service of Krishna, your body, your resources, your wealth, whatever you have, just like Bhaktivedanta Thakur says, Manasa deho geho jo ichu tumhar, arpilu tuva pade nanda kishore. Whatever I have, my mind, my body, my senses, my family, my house, everything is for your service, Krishna. This is the prayer Acharyas are making. So, why? Because everything is Krishna's only. Engage again in his service, it becomes spiritual. The same material energy which has been the cause of your bondage will bring you to the transcendental stage beyond all misery. So here one important point that makes is this offering or rather engaging yourself in service of Krishna, can it be done whatever way I want? No. It has to be under the direction of a bona fide spiritual master. He is that expert guide who can give you step-by-step procedure of how to engage your senses in service of Krishna. Otherwise, our way of our own manufactured way, concocted way, will not last long. Right? So we need to have an eternal system of engaging our senses in service of Krishna. That is possible when you take the direction from a bona fide spiritual master. So, very nicely Prabhupada answered the first question. The last question, question number 2. How can you make everything so simple to understand? Right? Prabhupada's way of explanation was so wonderful that even the complicated spiritual subject matters or complicated philosophical points, Prabhupada used to make so simple. Just like just now we saw Prabhupada gives the example of milk and yogurt, milk and curds. How milk preparation has caused you some digestive problem. The solution is curds. And why do you take curds? Because the physician recommends you. Ayurvedic physician recommends you. And it is properly regulated and properly taken in a way the physician is telling, you'll be cured of the problems. Right? So Prabhupada's solution was so simple. So one of the devotees asking, why you are how can you make everything so simple to understand? Prabhupada says, because the whole philosophy is so simple. It is not at all complicated. Just that people are trying to do jugglery of words and some misinterpretation, misconception. That is causing problems. Otherwise, the philosophy is so simple. God is great, you are not great. Don't claim that you are God. Simple philosophy. You can never be God, right? So you are not great. God is always great. So you can never be God. But there are people who claim that there is no God. The Prabhupada says, don't claim that there is no God. This is a absurd, talk, mad talk. Actually, God's position is He is infinite. And our position is what? We are infinitesimal. God is Vibhu, we are Anu, just like the ocean water in the sea, in the ocean, and a drop of ocean water. Yes, both of them are qualitatively same, but quantitatively they are different. Right? A drop of water is insignificant with regard to the ocean water. So God's position is what? He is infinite, and we are infinitesimal. The rebellious attitude against Maya is called against God is called Maya. Right? When you don't want to serve Krishna, just like a person doesn't want to obey the government rules, then he's subjected to police control. Right? Likewise, Maya is like police. When you rebel against God, Krishna, then Maya's role comes into play. Anyone who is distracting that he is declaring that he is God, that you are God, there is no God, God is dead, he is under the spell of Maya. Right? Very nicely, Prabhupada says. Oh, I am God, you are God, there is no God, God is dead. This is statements. There are many types of followers of different so-called gurus who are all talking like this. When a man is haunted by a ghost, he speaks all kinds of nonsense. Right? You see, when somebody is haunted by a ghost, he's not in a sound mind. He's totally become insane. Similarly, when a person is haunted by Maya, he says, God is dead, I am God, why are you searching for God? There are so many gods loitering in the street. So these very absurd and illogical statements made by a few so-called spiritual leaders, actually they are very irrelevant with regard to the position of who we are, what is God's position, right? So only a madman or a person who is haunted by a ghost, right? Pishachi, only they can speak like this very, very insanely, right? God is dead, I am God. It's like a person who is intoxicated. He'll say, I am become Prime Minister of India. Just for that moment, unless his intoxicant power is there. After that, he becomes a normal beggar. Right? So one of the prominent spiritual leaders was telling that there are so many gods loitering in the street. Why should you look for God? This is the way they are philosophically trying to understand things. Right? Very unfortunate. So further, Prabhupada says very nicely, people who speak like this are all ghostly haunted. God is dead, there is no God, I am God, you are God. These are all nonsense. Prabhupada says these are all talks of people who are ghostly haunted, deranged. So you have to cure them by vibrating the transcendental sound of the Hare Krishna mantra. That is the cure. So Prabhupada is not simply explaining the problem, he's also giving solution. What is the solution? People who are haunted by ghosts, they have to cure them by vibrating the transcendental sound of the Hare Krishna mantra. That is the cure. No other way. So Prabhupada says, simply let them hear and gradually they will be cured. See, such a wonderful, simple universal solution which Prabhupada is giving from the scriptures. Just you have to chant and hear this holy name of Krishna, because it's very auspicious to hear always about Krishna. This is going to solve the problem, right? When a man is sleeping very soundly, you can cry out beside his ear and he will awaken. Among all the senses, when you fall asleep, one ear is always active, that is ears. One of the senses is always active, that is ears, right? So even in sleep, when you're sleeping, somebody is loudly calling you, you wake up, just like we get up with the alarm sound. So the Hare Krishna mantra can awaken the sleeping human society, Prabhupada is telling. And the only way to awaken our sleeping souls now is to chant Hare Krishna mantra and hear that mantra. And Hare Krishna mantra is so powerful. The Vedas say, Uttishtata Jagrata Prapya Varan Nibodhata. Oh, human being, please get up. Don't sleep anymore. You have the opportunity of a human body. Utilize it. Get yourself out of the clutches of Maya. Here, sleep means sleeping in ignorance. And ignorance is the cause of suffering. Suffering in terms of taking different bodies, life after life. So, the advice given by the scriptures is that don't be in ignorance. Wake up. Come to the proper platform of knowledge. Utilize the opportunity of human body, which is a great opportunity for you to come out of these clutches of Maya or influence of Maya. So this is what is declared in the Vedas, and Prabhupada has given the same teachings to us in a very, very simplified way in the form of his books. So continue to chant Hare Krishna, awaken your countrymen from illusion, and help them get relief from their miseries. Prabhupada concludes now. Right? So continue to chant Hare Krishna. Means chanting Hare Krishna is that ultimate solution. It is the essence of all scriptures. This will awaken your countrymen. Prabhupada is addressing the American students, young students, because they're all sleeping in ignorance now on the lap of Maya. Now just chanting Hare Krishna mantra will awaken your fellow people, fellow humans, fellow other, your friends, other people, and from illusion. What illusion? That I am this body, enjoying my senses is what my life is. And this is the only solution by which you can get relief from all the problems, all the self-miseries. So with this, we conclude this session. If you have any questions on this topic, I request all of you to put your questions in the comment box, the YouTube live link, YouTube live, what is going on. We will come back with the appropriate answers for you. We will conclude here. So with this, we complete this topic, pleasing the Supreme Master, perfect Master, right? The lecture given by Prabhupada in early years of ISKCON in America, right? So we'll continue with the next topic, next session. Until then, thank you everybody. Hare Krishna.